Hi, I'm Josh. Welcome to a new video, and today I'll be sharing with you my thoughts on the new Kendrick Lamar album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. One of the albums I've been the most excited for in a while. And before starting, I just want to remind you that this is just my opinion. With that being said, let's talk about what happened before this record. I've known Kendrick for years now. I remember my friends showing me Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe back in 2016. But besides a couple other songs like Alright and Humble, I hadn't listened to any of his music. It was until August last year when I started to listen to more hip-hop, when I came along with To Pimp a Butterfly. After seeing all its praise and good comments, I decided to start checking Kendrick's music, starting with that album. And I loved it. It was unlike anything I had ever listened to before. Then it came Good Kid, Mad City, and I loved it even more. I fell in love with his music and became a huge fan of him. It was not so long ago that I finally listened to Section 80 and Untitled Unmastered. And I cannot love them more. It's very safe to say that he is my favorite rapper and hip-hop artist. But I'll talk more deeply about his discography in the next video where I'll be ranking it. Last album Kendrick released was Damn in 2017. In those years, he has been featured in many projects, most notably Caesar's Control and Baby Keem's The Melodic Blue, which featured the great Family Ties, where Kendrick started to hype this new project, telling us to be patient for the new flows, brother. The song even earned him a Grammy, so the hype was on fire. A little before that, the OK Llama website was created, where he first shared his thoughts about working on his new project and it being his last TDE album. Nothing was posted on the website until April 18th, when he announced his new album was coming on May 13th. Everyone went crazy, the hype was in the skies, and it seemed like he was not going to have any singles. And then on May 8th, he released the fifth part of the Heart series of songs, which was not technically a single, but it was amazing. Such a powerful song with a really well executed sample, brilliant lyrics and an excellent performance. And the video gave it such a meaning. I was so excited for this album and it finally came out. I've been listening to it non-stop and I feel like it's time to give my thoughts on it, so let's do it. First, I want to say the cover art is amazing. It may go down as my favorite one of the year, we'll see, but the selection of colors really represents the sound of this album, as these brownish tones feel kinda calm, low-key, and that's how I feel this album sounds. Plus, I love the picture, but let's go track by track. First one, United in Grief. The beginning of this song is a really good way to kick off the album, and those first lyrics I think tell a lot about what this album will talk about. Finding peace, telling the truth, and then he tells us to be afraid of what he's been cooking in this time. This song talks about the pros and cons he's faced in his career and how he's dealt with them without getting into much detail. I think it works really well to start the album, how it first starts kinda calm and then the grumblous beat starts. With the string arrangements in the refrains, it gets really pretty. Again, really interesting and effective opening track. Next one, N95. This is gonna be the biggest song of the album, I'm so sure, cause it's a banger. I really like the synth bass, the low bass is delicious, and with the beat it gets fire. Also, the breaks the song has are not only pretty, but allow the song to breathe, and it works so well. Kendrick's rapping is excellent, I love when he raps with his high voice almost at the end, and Baby Keem's feature as sort of a hype man fits excellently. Fire track, definitely, with great production. Third song, Worldwide Steppers. Here Kendrick starts to give us a little insight on his life as a father, as a musician, as a husband. Admitting some of his flaws, self-doubting in decision making. He's being really introspective, really transparent, in a way we've never seen him before. And that will be the rule for the rest of the album from here. The beat is also really interesting. Wouldn't even know how to describe it, but it feels like you're inside of an stomach of something. Then it takes a little really needed break and starts again. Super interesting, risky song that I like a lot. And the next one is Die Hard. I think this is one of the weakest songs on the album, even though I like Amanda Reifer's voice a lot. And the mixing and production could not be better. I just don't like the beat that much. That cowbell gets a little annoying. The strings at the end are kinda nice though. Next one, Father Time. Great song. Kendrick's performance and flow is so good here. It reminds me of the best moments of Section 80 where his rapping is leading the rhythm and groove of the song. Plus, the beat is really nice. That little change it has every once in a while in the verses is wonderful. It gives such a life to the track and I love it. Next song, Reach, the interlude. First one of the album. And honestly, one that I love. The way the instrumental slowly builds and builds the energy had me feeling like I was ascending. And I love that it slows down at the end because it brought me back to earth. That's something many songs on the album will do and I love it. Such a good interlude, one that's actually worth listening. It's an experience of its own, and it was one of the moments that surprised me the most in my first listen of the album. Love it. I also like the lyrics a lot. It was such a great track. Next one, Rich Spirit, which again I think it's a pretty weak song. It's not bad. It's perfectly listenable and kinda enjoyable. But nothing stands out for me in that one, and I don't want to lose time with it, so let's move on with We Cry Together, which at least right now it's my favorite song on the album. Love its intro, the beat is great, and the production is freaking fantastic. Those drums sound incredible, but of course the biggest thing about it is the performance Kendrick and Taylor Page give on it. And for good reason, it's mind-blowing. Taylor sent it off the park, because the emotion in her voice in the highest moments of tension is incredibly real. She sounds actually angry, frustrated, and I love when she gets playful and messes with Kendrick. He also did a really good performance, and when you put them together, you have a very real, super well executed, ingenious song. I think the lyrics are also great because they are accurate and playful at the same time. Some lines even made me laugh, like the I should have found a bigger dick or the this gonna be the day you walk to that bitch once. Amazing song. And the next one, Purple Hearts. Beat on this song, fire. I really love it. It's a song that carries you with it. You let it do its thing and it will take you in a cool ride. I definitely like the little arrangements it has here and there, because they are nice details that don't allow the song to get boring. And I think everyone killed it with their performances. Kendrick is as good as always, but I think his part is groovier than the others. Summer Walker, really nice voice, her solo part along with her own backing vocals is so pretty, and the Ghostface Killa feature is great. And now Count Me Out, the first one of the second half of the album. And once again, I love the intro, which also sets the theme some of the songs in this half will follow. But I'm not really a fan of the actual song. I don't find it that interesting. And Kendrick doesn't do such a good performance. It reminds me of some of the moments I like the least in Damn. Not a fan of it. But I am a fan of the next one, Crown. I think Crown is a really good song. The instrumental is kinda laid back, as well as Kendrick's performance. I really like the piano, and I really like the way it plays with the high notes in order to give power. Along with the lyrics that talk about the pressure of being such a figure as he is, almost a leader for some, and the pressure he has on his shoulders because of what the world expects from him. He can't please everybody, and I love that he admits that he sometimes can't even please himself. It's evident from his first projects and even the lyrics here that he desired to be in that position. But now that he's there, he opens himself and admits it's not easy. I really like the song, it's really powerful. Next one, Silent Hill. I don't like the song. I got tired of their beat real quick and Kendrick's hums gets so annoying. His performance wasn't really amazing. I even prefer Kodak Black's one, even though he doesn't add much. But I think the style of this track fits him more than Kendrick. My least favorite song on the album by far. Next one, Savior, the second interlude. It's good. This was actually my favorite moment from Baby Kim in the album. I think he did a really good job. The instrumentals were cool. And once again, it was worth listening. One that actually adds some value to the album listening experience. Great one. Moving on, we have Savior, the song, which again talks about the position Kendrick is, telling us even though he made us believe it, he's not a savior, but also talking about his perspective on different topics in each one of the verses, from that same position, and I really like it. His performance, excellent, the beat is really cool, and I think Baby Kim works really good in the chorus. Next one, Auntie Diaries. This song is fantastic. First, the beat is simple, but effective and beautiful. The way it builds is great, because by the final part when the song is at its peak moment of energy, I'm the highest in the room. And the lyrics are incredible. So well written and executed, telling the story of two trans familiars he has, while also doing a critique of the way the LGBTQ community is viewed by society and religion. I think it's so important that such a well-known and respected artist is talking about this topic in a genre that's always been associated with discrimination towards this community. I think it can be very helpful to make the world a better place. Brilliant song, amazing, and probably my second favorite one here. Next one, Mr. Morale, banger song. That beat is so incredibly huge and low, God, it hits so hard. It's crazy. The production job on this song is insane, and Kendrick does such a good performance in this song. His flow and rapping is great. I also love that kind of build-up almost at the end. Such a good song, damn. Almost the last one, Mother I Sober. Definitely the song where Kendrick does the biggest introspection in the album. He's showing us his weaknesses, flaws, mistakes, and the way he performs adds such an emotion. At first he sounds tired, vulnerable, and reveals really deep details about his personal life and family. He even admits cheating on his now wife Whitney. By doing this, by opening and showing himself as a human, he gains strength. He's acknowledging he's done wrong, and as his wife says at the end, he's breaking a generational curse. Mesmerizing song, no words, pure freaking art. And the last song on the album, Mirror. I cannot think of a better ending for such an emotionally conflicted album. For example, the chorus with all the strings and the I chose me, I'm sorry line. I think it makes the song feel sort of optimistic. For him, for Kendrick, it's a super effective conclusion, especially after what we heard in Mother I Sober. It's a song that transmits the liberation he's probably feeling after finishing this album. And the instrumentals are easily among my favorite ones in his entire discography because they are so beautiful. I also think this is the best singing we've gotten from him, and I love it. I love this track. It's such an excellent closer. I love this album. Listening to it was such a good experience. A solid and consistent one. Even with the couple low moments it has, I don't think they do much damage to the listen. This record also has a lot to offer. You won't get everything in your first listen, cause it's a dense, deep, detailed album. Actually, my thoughts on it were kinda confused in my first listen, but right now I can say it's an album I enjoyed a lot. It's a beautiful, meaningful personal experience. And I can say it's my favorite album of the year so far. I'm really happy with it. I love it. I also want to mention how incredible the production of this album is. Some instrumentals are insane in the amount of chaos they suppose in the mixing mastering process. All the producers, engineers, mixers behind this album are phenomenal. Because they managed to put out one of the craziest productions I've heard. From the vocals, ad-libs, backing vocals, instruments and arrangements. Everything is a mind-blowing job. Out of this world. I tip my hat. Finally, I appreciate the lyrical and thematical change Kendrick took. I think it was definitely needed. It gives a fresh air where he's not talking about the same topics as usual. I also like the approach he took in them, doing something he talked about in the Hard 5, which is showing how everyone has a different perspective on the world, and how the experiences, lessons, mistakes, knowledge we get in life influence that perspective. This is a personal, introspective album Kendrick put his soul into, that I think has a really valuable lesson, that as much as we admire or look up to an artist, or really any kind of, let's say, famous person in any area, whether it's sports, music, etc., we gotta remember they are humans, with feelings, they have flaws, conflicts they deal with, just like everyone. And we all gotta work in those flaws in order to be better. I got the impression that Kendrick took a lot of weight off his shoulders with this record, and it makes me really glad. Wonderful album, and we'll see where he ends up ranking in the next video, where I'll be ranking Kendrick's discography. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe. Also, leave your thoughts on this album in the comments below. I'd love to see what you think of it. Don't forget to check my first album, Dying Woods, if you haven't yet. It's available everywhere, but you'll have the Spotify link in the description for you to go check it. I'd really appreciate if you do. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. I've been waiting for years, hoping there's still a chance that you'll come visiting someday. Don't care if the guns are rusty, the bullet's black, you can still pretend